Yeah, yeah. This is Lady Mogul Talk, talking about black excellence. Ladies building legacies, fostering communities. There'll be topics to grow with dynamic heroes. Time to secure the bag, elevate your goals, yeah. If you gotta grind, go ahead and take some time. Free your mind, leave your worries behind. Expand your possibilities while learning new strategies. Every time with Avery, knowledge will be guaranteed on Lady Mogul Talk.
Welcome back to another segment of Lady Mogul Talk, and today we have Amber, the Activator Owens. Amber has been in the world of marketing and advertising for over 15 years, strategizing and executing profitable campaigns for top Fortune 500 companies and small businesses. She is the founder of and CEO of BrandFelt Activation, where she helps brands create profitable events that help build revenue, attract new clients, and secure brand deals. She is also the visionary behind ActivateLIVE, where the purpose is to provide opportunities for all to get to their next stage of success in business through resources and services. So I'm happy to welcome Amber to the stage. Hello.
Hi.
We're so happy to have you. I was this our like third encounter, I guess. Yeah, third encounter
Yeah.
working together in some sort of capacity, and I just love you.
I love you too. And I was so excited to finally meet you that day at the networking event. I was
I
like,
know.
oh,
What are the odds? And so we've been following each other, for those who do not know, for years, and learned that we live in Atlanta together and
yeah,
connected at a random event of all places.
yeah, crazy.
Yes. So I know more about you, but I want to introduce you to our audience. So tell us, how did you get started in the world of entrepreneurship? Was this always something that you thought you would follow?
Yeah, so no, not at all. So, probably like many people, I thought I was going to climb the corporate ladder. So I was in corporate marketing and advertising. And at a very young age, I was doing amazing. Okay. I was working in sports, so I was doing a lot of sports sponsorships. I was getting them brand deals. I'm doing all of these things. And it was one particular colleague, I guess. I asked her, she was been in the industry for 30 years, and I'm like, why? And she was like, well, I actually wanted to be a fashion designer, but I let life change me.
Uh-huh.
But she was like, Amber, and I'm from Memphis and I am a tar, so I am, I guess, hard headed sometimes. She was like, you have something more that I don't. She was like, you are able to actually, when somebody tells you no, you still go do it anyway. She's like, I'm not like that. So she was like, take that and go do more. And I think that's honestly what got me into entrepreneurship, because many of the people that, as I climbed the ladder, they were not happy.
Mm.
So I'm like, why are you clocking into a job 8+ hours, especially in marketing? We don't work 8-hour shifts, y'all. We almost around the clock. Why are you consistently coming and missing life moments for
Mm.
something that you don't enjoy? And I'm like, I don't want that life. I want to be able to talk to somebody and enjoy what I do, as
Mm.
well as when I do pass, I want people to say, Amber created the life that she wanted. She
Right.
just didn't go and check into a job. So that's
Yeah.
kind of how I got into entrepreneurship, if that makes sense.
And it's so funny that you mentioned fashion designer. I went to school at Clark Atlanta for fashion design originally. Then I changed it to political science because I knew I would come back to entrepreneurship, but I did take a little series of navigations around it. So I was going to climb the government ladder and then come back to entrepreneurship. But it's so funny you mentioned fashion design. It must be in the genes somewhere. That is me, fashion designer. Just kidding. Anywho, so you being in the marketing space for so long,
Mhm.
what are the common mistakes that you see most business owners make, and what are some of the
Yeah.
ways that you work with them to avoid that?
Yeah, I mean, the first one is you need to always advertise on Instagram. That is like for me one of the most common mistakes. And I say the common mistakes because you haven't taken the time to identify where your audience is.
Mhm.
So, for instance, a car wash company, right? People automatically like, I'm going to post pictures of us washing cars on Instagram. Well, if you really think about it, you might need to be on Reddit more. You might need to be on like what is it, like Task Rabbit and all of those community
Mhm.
apps where they can understand what's happening in the neighborhood. The channels like that are more effective than just a generalized Instagram. So I would probably say people not taking the time to identify who they're trying to market to.
Mhm.
Also, the second most common is saying that my product or service for everybody, because it's not. Okay. Apple has a certain demographic is for the elites, but everybody can buy it, right? Even down to the tissues and the type of restaurant you eat, they are targeting a certain audience. So truly identifying who you want to buy
Mhm.
from. I want to give you a third one, a big mistake in the marketing space. Prioritization. Oh my gosh. So prioritizing what should be put out and how it should look. I
Mhm.
always, especially if you're in the beginning phases, I encourage people to just start putting something out there and just start talking, because that's the only way you can truly identify your messaging as well as your target audience is if you put something out there. What you think is perfect, your customer does not. They might
Mhm.
not even care. So I will say not identifying their audience, two, not truly understanding where they are from a channel perspective,
Mhm.
and then three, just kind of overthinking. Just stop overthinking. Just put it out there.
Yes. Oh my goodness. So I don't even know where to begin because so many gems were dropped. And I think about my own experience and the mistakes I've made
Yeah,
and definitely done all of that. So
I've done it
even
all.
with like
Still do it.
videos, like I had I still have my camera. One day I'll dust it off. But these days, my Mogul Mondays are filmed on my phone because it's just easy to put it
It
in the
works.
tripod. People just want the message. You talked
Yep.
about target market. That is the key to messaging, marketing, brand identity, and
Everything.
everything. And then you also mentioned, drawing a blank, but you mentioned so many points about just the importance of putting
Just
it out there, in other words.
put it
And
out.
I always say perfection and procrastination are the killers of a brand. And so you have
Yes.
emphasized that. And I love what you also talk about, also offline marketing strategies. Oh, that brings me to Instagram.
Yeah.
Sometimes people aren't on Instagram. Like you said, you have to find where they are. So you talk about offline marketing strategies as well.
Hmm.
Tell us more about that because people always say online, online, but
Hmm.
that's not always where it's at, 'cause like with me, referrals are my number one way to get business.
So I want everybody to think about, how do you find the next restaurant? How do you find the next hairstylist? How do you find about what activity you want to go to? Most likely you ask a friend or a
Mhm,
colleague or a coworker, right? That is offline marketing. You're asking for a referral. So I also now want you to think about too, when you do ask them and they give you these referrals, how you become more engaged with that particular brand because of these referrals, right? This is something that I always teach clients. Like, now you have an online presence, what does it look like offline? Offline means referrals, offline means engaging, right? I
mm,
want you all to think about, how many concerts have you been to? How many festivals have you been to? Have you ever been to Essence Fest? Essence Fest is nothing but an experience for their customers.
mhm,
Essence is a magazine that created a festival, right? Red Bull is a drink, but Red Bull has music festivals, right? You actually attend these offline experiences for brands every single day. You just don't know that.
mhm,
And one of the things they do this because they understand the importance of getting the community together to then promote the product and or service,
mhm,
right? How many conferences have you been? The conference is not happening just because they want to. They want to engage the people that are like-minded, that are trying to, get to the same destination together, because that makes it more powerful, impactful, and more revenue driving when you put
mhm.
everybody in the same space.
Ooh, you were dropping gems. I hope they're taking notes. Go ahead.
But so when you think about offline, you really want to think about, whether you have a product or a service, how can you get the people in place? So for instance, this was in the beginning phase. I actually had a bug company. It was like a bug spray company that was based here in Atlanta, and they were like, they're trying to sell it. And you may think, okay, they can just go, on Instagram and sell it, or they can go on Amazon, put it on there, all these things, which you can. But I was like, why don't we get, I can't remember the name of the app, but just think about those neighborhood apps that people, can just, if it's a lost dog or car suspicious or whatever. I was like, we're going to get onto this app. We're going to say there's going to be a neighborhood event where we're going to teach people. It was during the summertime. So you got, mosquitoes and all of this. Let's throw a block party sponsored by you all, right? And let's kind of just give information about your bug spray. And so that's kind of how we introduced it into that particular market. I want people to get outside of, I need to create a pretty post and just where can I go where my customers already exist and present it that way. Or what do my customers want? So again, that bug spray, have a block party. It was during the summertime, right? It made sense. If you are skincare, if it's the winter is upcoming, people's skin about to get dry. What can you do to get people together to just not only sell your product, but for them to feel your brand so they can start trusting it, so they can start having loyalty. So then they can be like, have you heard about this skincare product? That's referrals, right? It's so many things that go into it. Like from my marketing perspective, having an offline presence is really just a complement to what you already do digitally. And whether it's email, text, anything. Hopefully that answered the question.
Oh, it did, because the way you explained it is you can use offline marketing as your foundation, and really your online presence is just like the
Yeah,
icing on the cake. And yes, people will find you online first, but building those relationships, building that industry expertise in person is something different because
it's something different.
they're able to relate to you a little bit more.
Relate, and also one of the biggest things too is your sales cycle gets shortened when people actually meet you in person, because a lot of the times, and think about yourself, when you meet people in a person, how you feel their vibe or their aura determines if you're going to buy from them. So
Exactly. And so this is the perfect segue to talk about what you do for your clients, especially when you host your Activate Live. So tell us all
yes.
about the world of Amber.
So as she said, I own this, was now going to be the umbrella company called ActivateLIVE, which is essentially an ecosystem to help entrepreneurs get from one stage of success to the next. And from a service perspective, what we do is, because I have a huge background in marketing and I have a team of marketing experts, what we do is actually we offer what's called like fractional CMO services. And you're probably like, what is that? So in the corporate space, a CMO is a chief marketing officer, or a marketing director. This is the person that knows your brand in and out and knows what channels you need to be on to drive the revenue, right? And that is actually what we do. A lot of small business owners, whether they're solopreneurs or have small teams, can't actually hire a full marketing director. But what you can do is probably hire a part-time one on certain occasions. So whether it launches, or you have certain campaigns going on. So that is a service that we do. Another thing, because I am an events person, as y'all I've already tell, we also do on-demand event director. So what does that mean? Whether it's me or my team member, a lot of people may not want to hire a full event planner. But what you can do is still hire an expert to help with those logistics, help with some of those insights and that advice while you're planning your event. So we have basically a lot of consulting services that are catered to small business owners. And then as you grow with us or your brand grows, we actually do have a full brand development and implementation opportunity where we create your engaging moment. We create your experience from an event standpoint, right? We create your event and we actually help you identify what their revenue goals looks like, what channels we'll be promoting on, what partnerships. Y'all, I love to partner. Okay. My resume of partnerships is huge because I am a partnership girl. So we kind of look at that with Activate Live, and just the goal is to really help you all get to your next stage by helping you create a platform. I like to get people on stage is what I like to say. If they are ready for their brand to get to that particular level. But yeah, that's really what we do. It's a lot of marketing and events consulting to really help people understand. Because as a CEO, I understand you had the vision, but now you got to get the task, the to-do list, the execution together. And that's where me and my team come into play, especially from a marketing and sales side.
And she's a beast. I don't co-sign everybody now, but she knows what she's talking about. I've seen it, and
Yes.
I just look forward to continuing to support you in whatever capacity that we can because you are about your business. I don't like people who are full of fluff, full
There's a
of,
lot of that.
just that empowerment, but you actually have the tangible strategy. So that's what I love about you the
Thank
most,
you.
besides so many other things.
Appreciate that. I needed
So,
that this morning.
of course. So one of the things that I recently peeped on your Instagram was that you were a correspondent for Inbound Conference. So
Mhm.
tell us what that experience was like.
All right, so Inbound is an event. All right, the corporations do this all the time. So Inbound is an event that is created by HubSpot. If you don't know what HubSpot is, it is a client management system all about marketing and sales and keeping all of your customers in one platform. All right, so they host an annual event called Inbound. Inbound is literally one of the top marketing and sales conferences in the US. Like, you can literally Google it. And what I love about Inbound, well, first of all, how I got the opportunity to be a media correspondent. Last year, I attended with one of the organizations that I work with. And I guess me being me, people saw it. I'm talking to different people. And then come to this year, they say, hey, Amber, we want to invite you back, but now we want you to showcase your experience as a small business owner, because a lot of small business owners don't get to attend.
Mhm.
Why? The lowest ticket costs $1,500. Okay. That is the lowest, not including your flight, hotel, and everything else. And so that experience was very eye-opening because also a lot of people, I think this is another common marketing mistake as well, to a degree. We keep looking at our own kind doing and trying to mimic them, when we should be
Mhm.
looking at people's businesses as a whole, no matter what race, no matter what ethnicity. How are different people in the industry doing things? And because going to Inbound, it is a diverse array of people, whether it's SaaS companies, it is, I met a comedian trying to build her company there. Like, what? It's different type of companies there. And so we are all trying to figure it out. And
Mhm.
I think that was the biggest impact there, was figuring out, as well as sharing our mistakes and sharing our wins, so that we can kind of, what's it called? Piecemeal or meal piece. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Trying to put together what works for you and apply it. But that
Mhm.
experience was absolutely amazing because I met so many people that what they didn't know kept giving me confirmation that my path is the right path, and like, just go with the flow.
Mhm. Mhm. So 2 takeaways that I want to relate to the audience. Number 1, the importance of investment. You said the least ticket was $1,500, and whether it's a conference or a coach, it's important to invest in yourself because if you don't invest in yourself, how can you expect for others to do the same? And even if you like, I remember when I was investing in my first coach, I think I paid 15,000,
Yeah,
and I
my
don't
person was
know
like
how I
2,500.
did that because, I mean, I'm not saying I was, not making money, but that took a lot, and sometimes I was down to my last coin, but it was worth that investment to take me to that next level. And number 2, also the importance of being in the right rooms.
Yeah.
Even though the platform is Black women moguls and we do cater to women of color, we're still making sure we're in the right rooms because you can learn something from everyone. We just want to make sure that knowledge is disseminated to those who don't have as much advantage or access to information, but you can learn something from anyone. And that actually also takes me back to your point earlier about even when you narrow down your target market, you can still attract other
Okay.
individuals because believe it or not, we still work with men and Black women moguls. So having all of this foundation is really key to having a successful and sustainable business. So much that people can take away from this conversation. So I know you always have something up your sleeve. I know you might not be able to share everything, but what's coming up for you that you can share, or if you have any events coming up?
Um, so I definitely would say just always check back to activatelive.now.com or follow me on Amber the Activator, because we do have some events upcoming. One is going to be very accelerator based, meaning I do want to work with some companies on a one-on-one basis, and help them build out their customer experience from a marketing side, because people don't understand how marketing is a part of your full brand development. the experience. Like, just think about, how if you order something online and it doesn't come, and then you have to go give this refund, and then y'all get mad based off the experience. Well, that's what people are experiencing with your brand, right? So I really want to help people that way, because I just love, again, I'm an experienced girl. So whether it's events or just understanding how people find you from an Instagram post to getting into your newsletter to you following up and upselling them, I love it all. But we're going to do an accelerator, as well as I can't announce it, but I would just say stay tuned, because I am going to be an entrepreneur coach for a major oil company. And that's all I can say. We start that in January, and I'm so excited that I get to teach marketing for them. Yeah, I would just say just follow my journey.
Well, I will be stalking you because I want to hear what this company is. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Congratulations.
That particular opportunity, going back to what we were talking about, that opportunity honestly came from a relationship that I had actually just, I think it's only been a year, but because we add a lot of value, whether it's somebody pay a service and or a phone call, and we're adding value, and they put me in a room that I didn't know existed. They put my name into a room, and then that's how this particular opportunity came in. So I can't really talk about it.
Showing up is 90%, everyone. That's amazing. I'm excited for you. So, continuing on the vein of marketing, where do you think it will evolve in the future? And what skills do you think will be most important for business owners to have?
Um, I'm gonna answer it with one. I'm gonna answer both kind of with one answer. It's going, and the skills that people need is to identify people's true issues,
Hmm.
not the issues that you think exist, but identifying people's true issues and allowing that to be your marketing. So those true pain points, allowing the pain point to be your marketing and the solution to be your product or service. Um, Many times people are just promoting the product and the service, its benefits, right? But we don't care about the benefit as a consumer. Think about yourself. You care about the transformation. If I get this type of tissue, how's my butt going to feel? If I get this certain, food, how am I going to feel? If I go to this concert, what am I getting from it, right? Um, Again, Beyonce is on her tour right now. People go, yes, they like the songs, but they know Beyonce is going to put on a performance. So it's that transformation is kind of bringing happiness into them, right? And they're going to leave feeling on a whole high. I think as business owners, we really need to understand and really dig deep into what are our customers' pain points, their issues, and how do they want to be transformed, and talk about that in the most authentic way, though. I think that's a big thing too. Authenticity is going to grow. People want to see the person behind the brand, if they are really, relatable or whatnot. And it's going to require people to come out of their shell.
Oh, yes. I always say, even if you're an introvert, just do it scared. You never know, because
Yeah.
you have to put yourself out there in the world of business.
You have to do it. I just did my first out of state event for my particular brand. Didn't know anybody in Boston, but I knew one person. That one person connected me to different people, to where my one event that I've never done out of state, I had Adobe Express as a partner. I had the Black Economic Council of Massachusetts as a sponsor, and I had Northeastern University as a sponsor. Did it all scared. You got to do it. I got to show up myself.
Yes. Yes, definitely. So I know you mentioned it a little earlier, but can you share again your contact information for people to keep up with you, the website, social media, and anything you want to share?
Yes. So if you want the professional / regular human side of Amber, definitely follow me on Instagram at Amber the Activator. I give you a lot of insight into the mentalness of what it takes to really succeed. I think I'm supposed to be an example of that, because we couldn't see your Oprahs and Tyler Perry's back in the day, because social media didn't exist. But I feel like I'm supposed to be one. So follow me at Amber the Activator. You can visit activatelive.now.com, as well as LinkedIn. I believe it's just Amber Owens on LinkedIn. You can find me there.
Well, I have thoroughly enjoyed our conversation. Are there any final words of advice you want to give to our audience?
As I always say, whatever you're thinking, think bigger.
Ooh.
Happy activating.
Snaps for that. Yes. Well, thank you so much for taking some time to talk with the Lady Mogul Talk audience. Be sure to follow her on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, visit the website. Stay tuned for that big oil announcement. And just thank you so much for being a part of our day.
Thank you for having me.
Well, ladies, this has been another segment of Lady Mogul Talk, and we'll see you in the next session. Bye.